Welcome to Dateline Polk, with news about your county government. I'm your host, Josh Wilson, and today you'll learn about County Commission actions from the October 20th board meeting. On June 2nd, the board approved a design-build agreement with Hoare Construction for $485,000 for Phase 1 pre-construction services for construction of the Polk County parking garage at the County Administration and Judicial Complex. Hoare Construction has completed the design and solicited bids for the project. At this meeting, with a 4-to-1 vote, the board approved the $8.1 million Phase 2 guaranteed maximum price addendum to the agreement, which covers construction costs. As part of the Phase 1 services, Hoare Construction worked with the county to identify large material purchases that would result in project savings if the county directly purchased the items. The $166,000 savings is the result of sales tax that would not have to be paid since the county is tax exempt. This brings actual costs for Phase 2 services to just under $8 million. Garage construction is scheduled to break ground in November with substantial completion scheduled for August 2016. Commissioner Danzler voted in opposition. The board approved a local agency program agreement with the Florida Department of Transportation for the Rifle Range Road Sidewalk Addition project. Through this agreement, the state will provide $259,000 for construction expenses and $35,000 for construction engineering and inspection expenses, totaling $294,000 for the project. The county will be responsible for any costs exceeding the state funds, but current cost projects are estimated at $264,000. The board approved a contract agreement with Comanco Environmental Corporation for construction for a new disposal facility at the North Central landfill for $12.5 million. In July 2015, the county authorized Simcoe to provide pre-construction services to the Bartow Courthouse in order to meet the New Americans with Disabilities Act standards. At this meeting, the board approved the $176,000 guaranteed maximum price. The scope of work includes renovation of existing courtroom 9D and the associated jury deliberation room. The board approved a consultant services authorization for $124,000 with Lunds Prebor Fowler Architects for design and construction administration services for the Marion Creek Fire Rescue Station project. In July 2015, the county authorized Rhoda Construction to provide pre-construction services for the North Central landfill scale house modifications. At this meeting, the board approved the $117,000 guaranteed maximum price. The scope of work includes new storefront systems with impact-resistant glass, transaction windows, millwork, and interior finishes. The board approved a renewal contract with Peace River Center for $912,000 to provide behavioral health treatment services, crisis stabilization and recovery, and resiliency behavioral services. They also approved a renewal contract with Tri-County Human Services for $667,000 to provide behavioral health treatment services collated in a primary care setting. These services, which the county is mandated by the state to provide, are paid for through the Indigent Healthcare Fund, contracted through September 2016.
We had 2 items approved by the board today that are for the mandated mental health and substance abuse services. These services are for inpatient and outpatient mental health and substance abuse treatment, and it's mandated by Florida statute. It currently comes out of the Indigent Healthcare Surtax Fund, and that's where payment is made. However, if the Indigent Healthcare Fund did not exist, these are the services that the board is still responsible to provide payment for and would otherwise have to come from the general fund. So these funds are serving people who need assistance and who have no other alternatives to turn to. So they're very important to the community, and we are glad to be able to continue contracting to fund that out of the Indigent Healthcare Program.
The board approved a renewal contract with Central Florida Healthcare for $350,000 to provide dental services at their Frostproof, Lake Wells, Mulberry, and Winter Haven locations. These services, which the county is mandated by the state to provide, are funded through the Indigent Healthcare Fund and are contracted through September 2016.
We received approval today by the board to continue contracting with Central Florida Healthcare for dental services for that low-income population under 200% of the federal poverty level. These services are for basic and restorative care for people who have no other means or alternatives for dental coverage. And This service is something that helps keep them out of the emergency room, so they're getting the preventive care, they're getting some emergent care at the right place and the right cost. And we are using the indigent healthcare funds to offset some of that and to create that access at 4 different clinics throughout the county.
The board approved an agreement between the county, the Behavioral Health Court, and the Public Defender's Office to address the unique needs of mentally ill and developmentally disabled defendants in the criminal justice system. Behavioral Health Court will receive $200,000, and the Public Defender's Office will receive $83,000 to provide defendants whose income does not exceed 200% of the federal poverty level with necessary treatment, training, support, and services. Funding for these services is available through the Indigent Healthcare Fund and is contracted through September 2016.
Today, we received approval to contract with the Behavioral Health Court and the Public Defender's Office to continue operating the Behavioral Health Court program, which is a jail diversion program for people who have mental health or substance abuse conditions, and we try to make sure that they're getting the right care outside of the justice system and they're able to get the wraparound support, the counseling services, the case management, the peer support. And so these funds are used to fund the operational cost of running that court and to provide those wraparound services for them.
In other news, the board proclaimed October 18th through the 24th as Friends of the Library Week. Richard Matus with Winter Haven Friends accepted the proclamation.
Here in Bartow this morning to pick up a proclamation noting the Friends of the Library Week here in Polk County for all of the Friends groups within the county. As I say, I represent the Winter Haven group. We have a bookstore within the Winter Haven Library, which we sell books, raise money at other functions to support library endeavors. Primarily, we have started a new seed lab in the Winter Haven Library called Science, Exploration, Education, and Design, which is a place where we have several computers and teach classes to both young and old. In addition, the library staff puts on a drone program that is for the young people. They and we have been recognized by several organizations within the state for the work on that seed lab, and in particular, I would like to say the Winter Haven staff was invited to the American Library Association International meeting in San Francisco this past summer to put on a presentation of the drone program that they have and also talk about the seed lab. We in Winter Haven, of course, are very proud of their work and the work that they do.
The board also proclaimed November 14th through the 20th as Polk County Family Week. Heartland for Children's CEO Terry Saunders accepted the proclamation. The Board of County Commissioners is proud to employ more than 1,900 people, many who have spent most of their careers with Polk County government. In this meeting, the board recognized Chuck Blocker from the Transportation Division and Michael Gerhardt from Fleet Management for 20 years of service, and Danny Tucker from the Transportation Division for 25 years of service. CareerSource Polk President and CEO Stacy Campbell-Dominic and Board Chair Katrina Lunsford presented the Workforce Development Board's quarterly update.
I was here today to update the board on the improvement of our unemployment rate. We're currently now at 6.1%, and also the average income for employees have increased by $1,100 here in the county. Also, I was giving them a quarterly update on the traffic that we've had with both our systems and helping employers to employ people here in Polk County. We are doing an excellent job here, and we are glad for the increase in business and the improvement in our economy.
In public hearings, the board adopted a resolution vacating a portion of right-of-way shaded in yellow located off of Avenue X Southwest in Winter Haven. With a 3-2 vote, the board adopted an ordinance amending the Polk County Economic Development ad valorem tax exemption ordinance, removing the cap on the amount of exemption and modifying the guidelines for granting exemptions. Commissioner Lindsay and Hall voted in opposition. The board approved an applicant-initiated request granting a Level 4 review for the expansion of a legal non-conforming use to allow a tire shop, truck wash, and overnight lodging off State Road 60 near Indian Lake Estates. The board also adopted ordinances creating special street lighting districts for the following subdivisions: Highlands Creek Phase 2, Sundance Place Phase 1, Devon Oaks, Salavita Phase 1C, Salavita Phase 1H Unit 2, Salavita Phase 7E Unit 1, Salavita Phase 7G Unit 2, and Tuscany Woods. And finally, the board appointed Laura Lee Gwynn as a member of the Neighborhood Development Office Affordable Housing Advisory Committee for a 3-year term ending October 19, 2018. Well, that wraps up this edition of Dateline Polk. To keep current with programs and progress in the county, visit us online at polk-county.net or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We encourage you to join us at our next scheduled board meeting at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, November 3rd. Thanks for watching.